Okay, we're going to talk about this. This won't be that long of a video. I forgot to shoot it, basically. I did a video on Friday the 20th, because the 19th, I was supposed to go back on the 19th, but that was Juneteenth, and they were closed. But l-arginine, I think it's l-arginine sometimes, but it's this ingredient. I don't know if you're going to see that one way or the other, but for circulation, for vascular health. Now, I don't work for this company. I don't even know what company this is, Jaro Formulas. I use this one. They do not prescribe this to me. It's a supplement. I buy this on my own. I don't get it from the VA. But you'll see right here, it says vascular support. It says it right there. What does it do? It supports your vascular movement of your blood, your circulation. When I was in the hospital in 2017, they were going to cut off either my toe, my foot, or my leg. I wasn't leaving there with everything they said, but I wanted to try, because those benefits were available to me thanks to people like you that pay your taxes. As a veteran, I was able to take IVs given to I self-administered them, IVs 4 times a day. 4 IVs a day, one right after the other, then 2 and 2, then another one. But I was able to do that. But the problem is, I didn't have good vascular health. My blood didn't move the way it should. In order for this program to work, to get down to my toe, I had a PICC line, which would go from here to my heart. You can actually see it when they're putting it in. You see this snake move into your heart. Like I say in other videos, scary. And if it gets wet, you have to go right to the emergency room. It's very, very dangerous. You got to shoot heparin into your arm. You got to shoot saline into your arm in between each time you do. What you do is you shoot the heparin, you shoot the saline, you hook up the IV. Then you cap. Then you take out the IV, you cap it, and then you squirt another thing of heparin in. In fact, I do have one right here. This is what the saline looks like, and I would hook that. This is sodium chloride injectable or something like that, and I would shoot that into my arm and into my body to keep everything clean. Because if you get an infection here and it goes to your heart, that's worse than losing a toe, a foot, or a leg. I'm sure. I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what would have happened if that had gotten. If you got to do this yourself, and you're a grubby, old, dirty, old codger, old coot, and you got to teach yourself to do this. And I did that for 6 weeks, 4 a day, 4 IVs a day for 6 weeks. Wow. Try working a job around that, But they come in these little capsules, these little balls, and they call them cassettes, and you can put it in your pocket or you hide it in your jacket. Luckily, it was winter time; it wasn't too hot, so I was able to put the ball in there, have the PICC line go here, and you wouldn't even see it. It would go up my shirt, and couldn't tell I was doing anything, but I was actually administering my IV. But they were worried, and I was worried, that the blood, when it goes here, they can go from the PICC line to the heart. But how does it get from the heart to the toe? It has to travel down through your veins, through your vascular system. And they were afraid, and I was afraid, that my vascular system would not support that. And I might be on IVs for 4 a day for 6 weeks, and all that expense, wasted money that the taxpayers pay to keep us veterans going. I would have felt horrible. I would have killed myself, unalived myself, but boy, I would have fallen into some deep depression. Number 1, I did not have success. Number 2, I lost my leg, and number 3, I would feel that I was not taking it seriously or respecting what you did for me. So I always tell you, ask your doctor first. Always ask your doctor. I always say that. Ask your doctor what you should do, or should you take this. Say, hey, this guy named David, he's a big dummy, but he did save his leg, his foot, his leg, his foot, his toe, his foot, and his leg. He was able to do that, and he took this. Now, what happened was, I was in the hospital, and they take this like machine, and it goes, and it hears your heart. It goes, your heart doesn't go boom, boom. It goes, makes that kind of noise. So at least you know your life. And then they take the machine, they go down to your legs and your feet, and to see if they hear the blood moving down. And they did. They heard some. They said, you're very, very poor circulation, poor vascular health. And one of the nurses there, he was a staff sergeant, E5, and I think he was in the Army. Is there a staff sergeant E5 too? I think it is E5. And he became a nurse. He was a nurse's aide, I think, when he was enlisted there, like a nurses, assistants, like that, whatever they have all this. Just like we have in the civilian hospital, they have it in the military hospitals. There's someone there that does medical, not billing because they don't really bill, but they do all the filing, and they control all of that. They have doctors, nurses, lab technicians, x-ray techs, all of them, and they go to school. And if you want to join the military and learn a trade, that's a pretty good trade. I don't know about going to learn to be a doctor, but you could definitely, whatever. And he said, I'm not a doctor, and I can't tell you or prescribe or even recommend. I'm not really supposed to recommend anything. But some people have had success with taking this. And I said, well, how much should I take? Where do I get it? Where do I get it? Check, please. Where do I? And he said, you can get it from the store. And some of them I get are called l-arginine, and somebody's called this. And I take 2 tablets a day. And I think that's what they say to take. 2,000 mg. And I'm going to ask my doctor, should I up that, or is that still a good number? But I started taking this, and of course, when I was in the hospital for 9 days. And a lot of people think I just went to the hospital for 9 days, did 6 weeks of IVs, and it's done. No, I took oral medications. I went back and forth to the doctor. I had to go through those tubes at the nuke medicine, MRIs, X-rays of my feet. Check after check. Visiting nurses had to come by. I had to go and get my blood work done. When I was in the hospital, I think I was getting my blood work done like 5 or 6 times a day. But I had to go, like, either the nurses would come here, or the phlebotomists, or whatever it is, would come here. The visiting nurses would come here and come to my house and teach me about my foot, check up on my foot, check my PICC line to make sure there's no problems. Like I said, if it gets wet, I was going to go right to the emergency room as fast as I can get there. If I have to call the ambulance, call the ambulance. That's how serious it was. But I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they say, hey, you're doing a lot better. It looks like the regimen that you have is taking care of the movement, at least, of the medication to your toe. Now, the reason the toe and the feet are such a problem with diabetics, did you know this? Do you know this? Do you know that? Tap, tap, tap. Did I know this whole time? No. I didn't even know what being a diabetic was. I thought, well, just don't eat some sugar. You'll be okay. Hey, sugar booger, quit eating so much sugar. But the foot is the furthest away from the heart. So if you look, okay, heart's here. Well, what about my arms? Okay, heart's here. Well, what about my cheek? Heart's here. Oh, what about my knee? Knee's here. What about my buttocks? Right back there. What about my foot? Way down there. So it's a big, big problem. So then they checked me on the same, I don't know, they did the ultrasounds and they did other things too. I don't know exactly which test it is. They test that. You may know. If you know, please, down in the comment section. But I improved it by 33%. Now, do I endorse this company? No. Do I take their products? Yes, sometimes. Sometimes I take Nature's Valley. There's all kinds of different brand names. I take the ones from CVS's own private label. Rite Aid, I used to take theirs, but now Rite Aid, I think, is going to become a thing of the past. Walgreens, they all have this. They have it at Vaughn's, Pavilion. I think some of them have a CVS, and the Target has a CVS. Walmart sells different ones of this. Sometimes you can't get it, and that's bad. So I'm probably, if this is all I have, if I don't have another one in there, I've probably gone a little further than I like. Yeah, I take 2 a day, and I probably have enough for 5 more days. So that's a little close. So tomorrow I will seek out some more of this. I might have to go to 1 or 2 different ones. And is it expensive? Not really. A lot of times if you go to like CVS, back then Rite Aid, Walgreens, they'll have buy one get one free or buy one get one at half price. If it's buy one get one free and they only have 1 bottle, they just give you half off of that 1 bottle, which is good. But I like to buy the 2 bottles because I use all the time. So that reminded me. You reminded me by me making this video. Thank you so much for reminding me. I do need to ask the doctor, should I up my amount to them? I do take 2,000 mg, and it should be. To me, I think it's good, but I'm going to write to the VA and ask them, is there anyone there that can help me with supplements that I can take? Now, I did get approached by someone that works in traditional Chinese medicine, and they have something that they use, I guess, in China for people that have diabetes. So you know what? I'm going to call the pharmacist. One of them, I don't know, is she from Vietnam? I'm not from Vietnam. Is her name Vietnamese name? I don't know, but I'm going to talk to her. Don't forget, please, please, please don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. And please, please, thank you for, well, first of all, thank you for helping me with all that you do. But please, comments down there if you know anything. Like, hey, do you know about this? What about, what is this Chinese traditional medicine thing? Do you take it? Do you know about it? Do you have good vascular health? Do you take anything other than this, the traditional Chinese medicine supplement? Do you take something else? Do you know anything else? Please, this is a sharing kind of thing, sharing is caring or whatever, but please let me know. I don't know everything, but someone was asking about this. I did a video about the adhesive tape, that if you use the stretchy brown adhesive tape, I think it only comes in brown, I've only seen it in brown, kind of flesh color for an old honky, that if you use that and you put it around your toe and you don't have good feeling in your toe could be suffocated, and they have to, and I don't think it's with scissors, I think it's with a scalpel, and bone crush into that bone. I don't even want to think about that. But I did a video about that, and I also told people I increased my, and I wasn't sure if I made a video about it, but this is what it is. I don't endorse this company. I would if they wanted me to. It works just fine. I don't think I've ever taken this in a cap, one of the gel caps. I think I've always just taken it. I'll show you what it looks like. It's about that big. Some people think that's a horse pill. I've taken some like that. They look like a horse suppository that goes up the horse's poop chute. But I've had to take that. Now, I did not ask my doctor when I got out about this, because I was at that point risking losing my toe, my foot, or my leg. And if I didn't get it checked, if I didn't get it eventually, it would kill me. The infection in my toe would just move over and kill me. So I was thinking to myself, you know what? I could ask the doctor, but I'm gonna go ahead and start. And then now I have shown my doctor all my supplements, and she's okay with it. My primary care doctor, she's a woman, and I think all the other doctors I have right now are male. I don't know. My pharmacist, well, not my pharmacist, the pharmacist, she is a female. The people that help me with my a diabetic clinic, that helps me with the continuous glucose monitor, she's the female. But I don't have a doctor that only works for me. That's like Michael Jackson money, and look what happened to him, sadly. Yeah, so take care. Have a great week. Today is Sunday. It is 11:04 p.m. I'm gonna go sleep in a little bit if I can, because kitties like to come in and they like to jump and on your leg, and you gotta kick them out. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great week. Hey, do me a favor. Have a great week.